Hello friends, in this video I will share with you how much money did I make from YouTubing after my first month of monetization. Now the reason I'm making a video on this topic, and for that matter the reason I make videos on most of the topics on my channel, is that when I was searching for this topic on the web, and I will tell you why I was searching for the topic, but when I was searching for this topic on the web, I realized there isn't much content on the web pertaining to this particular topic. Now the reason I was searching was because I wanted to compare my journey with other new YouTubers, and I realized that most of the content out there for YouTube is for YouTubers who've been in the journey a couple of years, like 3-4 years, and have already monetized and are working on doubling their growth. However, there wasn't much content with regards to new YouTubers. So I wanted to see how I can compare my journey. Am I on track? What are the things that I can do to improve? If I need to pivot or course correct, what should I do? And since I realized there wasn't much content, I thought that since I've achieved monetization, it would be nice if I can put a content out there for others to make use of, again, to see my channel, compare, see if they are on the right track, and course correct as and when needed. So essentially what I will share in this video is how I got started, what was my journey like to the point where I reached monetization, how much did I make in the first month of monetization, what worked, what did not work. Now before going into the core of this topic, let me quickly talk about what was my primary motivation or core reason for starting this YouTube channel. Now the primary reason for starting this YouTube channel was to have a side income through a side hustle. A passive income which I can nurture and grow and make it big enough that eventually I can retire into it. Doing something that I really love, which is teaching and coaching. Now YouTube is one platform which allows me to do so, and hence I created this channel where I teach and coach. And eventually I will be able to make it big enough where I can just leave my day job and retire into this particular initiative which I love the most. And hence I started this YouTube channel. Now I've made a separate video where I explain as to how this YouTube channel will help me reach my financial freedom. You can check out that video and I will leave the link to that video here. So apart from me just sharing my learnings, I also hope that this video serves as an agent of encouragement for you in your YouTube journey. Since I was talking about my channel, let me also elaborate what this channel is about. On this channel, I share financial and career advice for early and mid-career professionals. So essentially what I cover is how do you save, how do you invest, how you grow your money, how do you succeed in your career, how do you change your jobs, how do you ace interviews, and so on and so forth. Now talking about my channel, in case you find any value from this video, please press the like button, as this keeps me motivated, and your like button just goes a long way in others to be able to see this particular video. Second, subscribe and press the bell icon as well, so you get notified as soon as I put a new content on this channel. As I said, on this channel I post content pertaining to financial and career success for early and mid-career professionals. So hopefully you will be able to find a lot of value from this particular channel. Now let me go back into the core of the topic. Now let me talk about something which would be very close to all those who are starting new on YouTube, which is all the challenges that I faced when I was starting a new YouTube channel. Number one was me not being comfortable speaking in front of the camera. I used to take a lot of takes, like I would have a script for 30 seconds and then I would cut and speak for another 30 seconds and cut. And then I was editing and putting all those clips together and making one video. Now I'm much better because I've practiced. I've made around 150 videos, so I'm more fluent, and hence that particular scare that I had is kind of gone, and I'm much more in practice with regards to speaking in front of the camera. Second is me fearing that I would be judged by the people I knew, my friends and family. Maybe they will make fun of my accent, or they will pick on my pronunciation or my performance overall. But guess what? This was just a spotlight effect. Spotlight effect is when you think that there is a spotlight on top of you and everyone is looking at you and everyone is thinking about you. However, in reality, everyone has a spotlight on them and everyone is thinking that others are thinking about them. So they are kind of busy thinking about themselves with regards to others thinking of them. So everyone in their head is thinking that someone else is thinking about them, and hence they are not bothered about thinking for you for that matter. At best, they would watch my video once, maybe give it 1 second or 2 seconds of thought, and that's it. And that's exactly what happened. most of the people I knew, this channel was not really relevant to them, and hence they just checked it out once and that was it. They didn't even speak about it any further. However, I realized that this particular channel or the content on it was far more valuable to others who I didn't know, and hence I started to see all the subscriber growth that I've seen on this channel. And lastly, my thought was, why would somebody care? There are so many other personal finance and career gurus on the internet, on the web, on YouTube. Why would someone start to like me and start to watch my videos? And maybe I'm just too late into this particular niche. And here is my response to that, which I've learned after starting my YouTube journey, is that people like to learn from those who they can relate to. So for instance, I come from South Asia. They can relate to someone who's brown, who's someone from South Asia, someone who speaks like them, let's say. They can relate to someone who has similar experiences. So people who have similar experiences like me, they find it much easier to learn from me versus learning from someone who they don't know or cannot relate at all. So you have to be relatable, just put your personality out there, and this is what I did. I talked about myself, my journey, introduced myself, and hence when people would start to relate to you, it is much easier for them to learn from you versus from someone they cannot relate to. And there will always be people who would be able to relate to you, as they are people who would be able to relate to those gurus out there as well. The reason they are those career gurus or financial gurus and they have made it big just because there was a big portion of population who was on YouTube and who could relate to them. Similarly, there's a huge population on YouTube which can relate to me just because either they come from the same background or same experiences. So once they can relate to me, they will be open to my message and will be open to learn. Now, enough of me talking about how I started my channel and what was my YouTube journey. Let me talk about what does it take to monetize on YouTube. Number one criteria is you need to have 1,000 followers. And number two criteria, which goes hand in hand, is that you need to have 4,000 watch hours in past 12 months, which means all the videos on your channel should have a total watch time of 4,000 hours. Now, what I mean by monetization, this is the point where YouTube starts to pay you for the ads that are being placed on your channel and on your videos. So whatever income YouTube generates from those ads, part of that income is paid out to you. That is what it means to monetize the channel. Now let me share with you my monetization time frame and some monetization analytics on my channel. Let's get going into that. So I made my first video on Feb 2021. Earlier, the goal was to upload once a week, but I lost consistency soon, which is very sad. So if you see, I wasn't able to do one video per week here. I only did 34 videos in 47 weeks, which is starting Feb 7th, 2021. Views were flat for the first half of the year and then began to decline towards the second half of the year. Now this kept it hard for me to stay motivated, and hence it compromised my consistency, and both of these kind of go hand in hand. I was lacking motivation, so consistency started to stumble, which impacted the results, which impacted the motivation, and hence the consistency. Good thing is that I did get to 1,000 subscribers in the first year, but only because of promoting my channel, which means I was spending money promoting my channel. I was advertising my channel on YouTube, and hence I was able to reach more people who were able to subscribe. However, this didn't earn me the watch hours that I needed to monetize, which is 4,000 watch hours. And I realized I cannot buy my way into those 4,000 watch hours. While I can buy my way into the 1,000 subscribers, for watch hours, I will really have to grow organically because I didn't have that much money to spend. By the way, I have made a separate video where I explain how did I go about investing and promoting my channel, what were the benefits or the negatives, so you can check out there. But in summary, the benefit was that I was able to get the first 1,000 subscribers soon. The negative was I was driving the channel based on what I thought was the right process or the right niche or the right videos. However, that may not be the right niche or the right videos that YouTube wants to drive for you. And if there is a contradiction, you will be just wasting money and going in the wrong direction, while YouTube is trying to push you in a different direction. And this will just be conflicting, and eventually your channel will stall. So make sure you exactly know what your niche is, where you want to grow before you start putting your money into promoting. I made that mistake where I didn't really had a defined niche and I was just trying to throw money everywhere. It's like spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. But with that, I was wasting a lot of money. Now let me share with you how the second year went. Now here I brought back consistency where I made 55 videos in a year. So slightly more than one video per week, given there are 52 weeks in a year. Views started to pick up towards the second half of the year. And watch time hours went up from being less than 100 hours per week to being above 500 hours per week, which led it to 4,000 watch hours by first week of September, allowing me to get to monetization by 8th of September. I monetized in total of 18 months, which for me was pretty slow because I was hoping I would be able to monetize in less than 12 months and it took me 18 months. But gosh, thanks to my consistency, I was able to churn out videos and was eventually able to hit monetization after 18 months. Now I earned $133 in the first month. This was paid to me within 30 days after I had my Google Sense account up and running. So for you to start getting that money that you are monetizing for, you need to also have your Google Sense account set up. So make sure you set that account up before you expect any money to start flowing into your account. So despite me putting in all the hard work and being consistent, why did it take so long for my channel to get monetized? Let me share with you some quick learnings. One is, for my initial videos or content that I was putting in, I was not unique. I was not putting out something which was different versus what was already out there. I was simply trying to copy paste other YouTubers and was just copy pasting their content and just putting it into my own words. That's it. I wasn't adding more value. I wasn't bringing in my unique perspective, my unique input into those videos or into those content that I was copying. Now it is completely okay to copy content from different places, but once you present it, you have to bring in your perspective. You have to bring in your point of view because that is what will make the content unique. If you don't put in your perspective and your point of view, then you are simply copy pasting the content from somewhere else and there is no uniqueness in that particular content. Second is, promoting my videos didn't help. As I said, I was promoting in a different direction while YouTube was pushing me in a different direction, and there was a conflict and I was just wasting money and promoting videos which really didn't work eventually, or eventually my channel moved in a very different direction. And those videos were just waste of money. Rather, they were also waste of views, because the views on the videos that you will promote will be high, but the watch time will be very low. So the average view duration would be very low on those videos, and YouTube will YouTube will start to assume that those videos are the ones which are not performing, because people click on it and they shut it down immediately because the watch time is very low. And because of that, those particular videos didn't perform, and because those videos were not performing, the more money I was putting behind it, it was just going to waste. So that was another bad move that I had with regards to my YouTube channel. And last piece is that I did not have my niche defined for the longest of time. I was just all over the place. For instance, I started with some motivational videos, then I started with some tech videos, then I started with some how-to videos, only eventually to land into the career and personal finance niche. And here as well, the career niche works far better on my channel than the personal finance niche, and hence I started putting more focus on the career niche versus the personal finance. However, I still carry the personal finance niche together, but the channel is more driven by the career niche. Now, this definition of what my channel is all about took me a lot of time. So either you are very clear what you want out there and you go in that and just focus and make videos on that, or then be ready to spend more time if you are going with my approach, which is just throwing the spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. And this is what I did. I didn't define my niche going in the YouTube journey. I just threw in the spaghetti on the wall and I just waited for whatever sticks, and then I'll start focusing on that, which again takes a lot of time and is more hard work than you being able to define what your niche is and then just doubling down on that particular niche. Now let me talk about as to what was the turning point on my channel. Now the turning point came when I started making use of my unfair advantage. And let me explain what is unfair advantage. Unfair advantage happens, or you can identify your unfair advantage when a friend calls you for something very specific with which they need help with, and they know you have the answer for that, or you can help them with that particular thing. Let's take an example. Your friend calls you up and says, I'm buying a car and I want to know which car to buy or how to decide or shortlist the different options I have. Now, what does this mean? This means there's someone out there in the world who has this question, which car to buy, and they believe you are that person who knows about it. This is your kind of unfair advantage, which is they don't know, but you know it, and you know it because you've had certain experiences. Let's say you worked in a car showroom, you had a car business, or you just love cars. All of these three things gives you that unfair advantage. What was my unfair advantage? My unfair advantage is people just calling me and saying, I want to apply for Procter & Gamble, or I want to get a new job, or I want to immigrate to Canada, and I want to know how to go about it. Now, I have a career of 11 years in Procter & Gamble. I was a recruiter there as well. I've interviewed many people, and I also moved to Canada. I immigrated to Canada. So I realized my unfair advantage is me having a career in Procter & Gamble, me being South Asian, as I said, people can relate to me, and then me immigrating to Canada. So people would call me about how do I immigrate to Canada? How do I get jobs in Canada? How do I get a job in Procter & Gamble? Or even if we narrow it down, how do I get a job in Canada in Procter & Gamble? I was like, I am that unique person who can answer this question for many people out there. I've immigrated to Canada and I know the P&G hiring process. Voila. And that was my unfair advantage. And as soon as I started making videos around P&G hiring process, my channel started to take off. And here exactly you can see that this is where I started to produce content around P&G and P&G hiring process. And once one video started to work, I started to double down on it and started to produce more content around the same topic, which is P&G hiring process, P&G testing, P&G interviews, and so on and so forth. And later I also started to expand a bit as well, because this is a very narrow niche. So I started talking about interviews, getting hired, how to fix your resume, not just for P&G, but for other jobs as well. So people who were applying for P&G and either couldn't get into P&G or decided to apply somewhere else as well, they started to find my content useful. Although they came to my channel because of P&G, but now they found other relevant stuff on my channel which they could consume, and hence other similar videos started to work as well on my channel. Now, as I move towards the end, let me quickly talk about how I was able to maintain motivation for so long, because it took me 18 months, which I believe is long. Number one is the belief that I had going into this journey is that overnight success is 10 years in the making. So I told myself this will be a long journey. I just need to do it day in, day out in a consistent manner. And given I decided and I told myself it's a long journey, I need to take motivation out of it, because motivation is fleeting. If there's something you want to do quick for a very short period of time, it is okay to rely on motivation. But motivation you lose very soon. Like I lost motivation after 4 or 5 months, and now I have another 12 months or 16 months of journey left to monetize. How did I sustain that? I just took motivation out of the equation altogether. So what I did was I relied on a process. I made the process so simple, so easy that I can sit down, just press the record button and I can record a quick video. I also made sure that I don't put a lot of stress on myself. So I only do something which I can easily do, rather do less than what I can do. So if there were days I could make 2 videos, I would still make 1 video and not make 2 videos, because I knew that if I would start making more than I can, or exactly what I can, there will come a time when I will burn out, and given no motivation in the fuel tank, I will just leave this project altogether. So I made sure I keep it easy, I keep it simple, and I keep it very, very small. Now I will make a separate video where I talk about how and what are the ways with which you can get rid of motivation, not just for YouTubing, but other things as well, other habit change as well, such as working out, nutrition, or if you want to learn any musical instrument or any other habit that you want to inculcate in yourself, how do you get rid of motivation and create those systems? So you can check out that video, and I will leave the link to that video here. Lastly, I joined a support group where there are other aspiring YouTubers who share their journey, share their learnings, and keep pushing each other as well on the group. And every time I felt demotivated or I felt this is not working for me, either they would give me some tips or they would just buck me up and push me. Now, some final thoughts and advice. The idea of making this video is not to brag. The idea of making this video is to tell you that if I can do it, you can do it as well. And for me, it was not magic, it was not luck, it took a lot of time. And this is how you can manage it as well if it's not working out for you. Second is keep creating content. You will only get better with practice. And practice is when you keep creating content and keep putting it out there. The first video that I made on my channel, and I'll share it with you here, whenever I watch it, I cringe. Rather, I have had moments where I wanted to delete it. But the only reason I've left it out there is for me to look at it and see how far I have come.
So why is it difficult to find a job in Canada? Essentially, for newcomers, there are two key challenges. One is lack or total absence of North American working experience, and second is lack or total absence of North American education. So for most of us, like myself, coming from developing world, holding no prior Canadian or North American experience or education, it becomes difficult to even get to the interview stage, let alone finding a job.
Lastly, I would love to know from you as well as to where you are on your journey. What are the things that you've learned or things that you want to share with me or share with other followers? So drop your learnings, your thought process, your point of view in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. In case you found any value from this video, I'm sure you'll also like another video on my channel where I talk about how I intend to reach financial freedom. So you can check out that video here. Other than that, there is another video where I talk about why it took me so long to start YouTubing and what were the challenges I was facing. You can check out that video here. Thank you.